Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today, we're diving into a topic that shaped the history of the United States wars. From the Revolutionary War to the conflicts of the 20th century, we'll take a quick look at 10 major wars the US has been involved in. So, buckle up, and let's get started. War 1, the Revolutionary War 1775 to 1783. First up, the Revolutionary War. This was the war that birthed the United States as an independent nation. Tensions between the 13 American colonies and Great Britain had been building for years over issues like taxation without representation. In 1775, the colonies fought back, leading to an 8-year struggle that would eventually result in the Treaty of Paris and the birth of a new nation. War 2, the War of 1812 to 1815. Next, we have the War of 1812, often called the Second War for Independence. This conflict was sparked by British interference with American trade and impressment of American sailors. The war saw the famous Battle of New Orleans and the burning of Washington, D.C. Though it ended in a stalemate, it boosted American nationalism and led to the demise of the Federalist Party. War 3, the Mexican-American War 1846 to 1848. Moving into the mid-1800s, we have the Mexican-American War. This war was fought over the annexation of Texas and the expansion of U.S. territory into what is now the American Southwest. The U.S. won decisively, gaining territories like California, Arizona, and New Mexico. The conflict also stoked tensions over slavery, helping set the stage for the Civil War. War 4, the Civil War 1861 to 1865. The Civil War, perhaps the most defining war in U.S. history. Fought between the Union and the Confederacy, this brutal conflict was centered around the issue of slavery and states' rights. With major battles like Gettysburg and Antietam, the war claimed over 600,000 lives. The Union victory preserved the United States and led to the abolition of slavery, but its legacy still affects the country today. War 5, the Spanish-American War 1898. In 1898, the U.S. fought the Spanish-American War. A short but significant conflict, the U.S. defeated Spain and gained control of territories like Puerto Rico, Guam, and the Philippines. The war marked America's emergence as a global power, shifting its focus from isolationism to imperialism. War 6, World War I 1917 to 1918. World War I was the first global conflict in modern times. The U.S. entered the war in 1917, helping tip the balance in favor of the Allies. The war led to massive casualties, trench warfare, and the eventual downfall of empires like Austria-Hungary and the Ottoman Empire. Although the U.S. played a decisive role in ending the war, the Treaty of Versailles sowed the seeds for World War II. War 7, World War II 1941 to 1945. World War II, the most devastating conflict in history, saw the U.S. take center stage as a global superpower. After the attack on Pearl Harbor in 1941, the U.S. declared war on Japan and later on Germany. The war involved fierce battles in Europe, the Pacific, and North Africa, and led to the downfall of Nazi Germany and Imperial Japan. The U.S. also dropped atomic bombs on Hiroshima and Nagasaki, which played a role in ending the war. War 8, the Korean War 1950 to 1953. The Korean War, a pivotal moment in the Cold War, began when North Korea, backed by China and the Soviet Union, invaded South Korea. The U.S. led a UN coalition to push back the invasion. Although the war ended in a ceasefire with Korea still divided at the 38th parallel, it solidified the U.S. role as the leader of the Western Bloc in the fight against communism. War 9, the Vietnam War 1955 to 1975. The Vietnam War was one of the most controversial wars the U.S. was involved in. Fought in Southeast Asia, the U.S. supported South Vietnam in its fight against the Communist North, which was backed by the Soviet Union and China. Despite heavy U.S. involvement, the war ended in 1975 with the fall of Saigon and the reunification of Vietnam under communist rule. It left deep scars in American society, with widespread protests and a reevaluation of U.S. foreign policy. War 10, the Persian Gulf War 1990 to 1991. Finally, we come to the Persian Gulf War, also known as Operation Desert Storm. When Iraq, led by Saddam Hussein, invaded Kuwait. The US and a coalition of allies swiftly intervened. In just a few months, the US launched a successful military operation that liberated Kuwait and forced Iraq to retreat. The Persian Gulf War demonstrated US military prowess, but it also set the stage for further conflicts in the Middle East. And that's a wrap on 10 major wars the US has been involved in. Each of these conflicts had profound impacts, both on America and the world. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. What war do you think shaped the US the most? Let me know in the comments below. Until next time, thanks for watching.